Hey, it's Tuesday at 2 here from Circle B Diecast in Concord, North Carolina. We are so glad that you have joined us. Wow, man, the starting lineup is already chocked, stacked, and packed. All the cars and all the stars are here. Victor, Daniel, Blake, Peter. Over on TikTok, we got Nascar Boy and Braxton and Bobby, and Billy joins us. We're having a ball. We're having a good time. We are so glad that you joined us. If you've been away for a few weeks on our Tuesday at 2, we're just talking racing is what we're doing here. My main man Jonathan's in here selling multiple times throughout the day, and so we're just talking racing. So if you have a racing question or thought, what'd you think of Darlington? What'd you think of the throwbacks? Type them in there, and we'll talk about it. So earlier today, I'm minding my own business back at the office, and Jonathan jumps on Facebook Live. So I'm like, let's see what he's pimping out here. So he has somewhere in the closet or somewhere here, he found Dale Jr. diecast car. I think it was the National Guard Chevy. He found door number or VIN vehicle numbers 1 through 12. So I know enough about diecast to know that when you get VIN number 1, that's winning. Autographed Dale Earnhardt Jr. cars with VIN numbers 1 through 12. I would guess 8 would probably be one you wouldn't mind to have either, with Junior's numerology there. So I'm sitting there, and so what he did is he did 12 people. They have 12 cars. 12 people, put them in a random drawing, and just you get number 7, you get number 6, you get number 8, you get whatever it was. Well, I'm fumbling around. I got credit cards falling all over, and he sold them all out before I even got a chance to get mine ordered up. So what that means is that Jonathan is wheeling and dealing on diecast. So you need to favor whatever channel you're watching on now. If you're watching on TikTok, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on PBS, I don't know what channel you're watching. I don't know where Jonathan's at with it. But whenever you need to do it, because you better get in there, but have the credit card ready. I missed them all. And they sold all the cars out just right out the door before I could even get mine ordered. I wanted that VIN number 1. But no, Jonathan is doing diecast orders. So we are doing talking racing. And so it's great. Fun stuff. We are having a good time with it, that's for sure. Larry wants to know, are you going to catch any dirt track races in Charlotte? Yes, I am, Larry. I can only get one night of it. I'm going to go out Thursday night. The dirt late models, okay? I have taken to liking dirt late models. We just got a couple other new ones in on pre-order, as a matter of fact. They're racing at the dirt track at Charlotte. The Colossal 100 is Saturday night, but they're racing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'm going to go out there Thursday. I wanted to go out. I wanted to go out other times, but just life is busy, and so it's all good. But so if there's dirt late model races around you, you need to go check those out, and you need to buy some dirt late model diecast from CircleBDiecast.com as well. Randy wants to know, when do you think Larson's going to get out of his bad luck streak? Yeah, it's just, although Kyle said something and I didn't get a chance to go through the numbers. From a points perspective, he's further ahead this year than he was last year. That's what he said. Kyle doesn't lie to me. So, but remember, wasn't it the summertime when he went on his run? And so I don't know. When he said that, I meant to look at it, Randy, and look to see where he was at a year ago. It doesn't look as good. I know that this year that it did last year, but last year we look at the whole year with a championship. Where was it at this point last year? And honestly, I don't recall. Here's the thing, when you look at it, Randy, he's very talented and he's driving a Hendrick Chevrolet. Hendrick Chevrolet would have won the car with the exception of Joey Logano's front bumper on his Ford Mustang. The Hendrick Chevys are good. And so I think Larson bounces back. With Larson, You know, he could go to Kansas this weekend and win. It wouldn't surprise me. He could go to the All-Star race. He could win the 600. I mean, but I think it was this time of the year because he's the defending 600 winner. So I think it was this time of year when he got hot. So maybe we'll see that, Randy. That's a great question, and it just reminded me of what he said about his points position, and I meant to look at that, and I don't know. So yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, Fox turns 10, Victor. Thank you. Tricky the Fox's birthday. So there you have it. That's good to know. We've got Tricky the Fox. Dr. Wassam. Who is your favorite NASCAR driver? Is not Doctor. Okay, so it's DR. Okay. Like Dr. Wassam. Who's your favorite? Also, DR is my initials, not Doctor. Okay. DR Wassam. I'll forget that too. So I'll call you Doctor. DR Wassam. Favorite driver to interview? A first-time winner in victory lane. I honestly, I know you're probably looking for a specific guy, and I don't really have specific folks. Just I like them all. I respect them all. My favorite interview that I've ever done was Michael McDowell in victory lane at Daytona. We actually did it on the front stretch. That's my favorite interview that I've done. Christopher Bell won the week after that, his first career win. That was pretty cool. First-time winners in victory lane are always pretty neat. I got to say, and I've had a few of them. Spencer Boyd Truck Series, I think at Talladega. Am I right on that? Yeah. So I like first-time winners. I'll tell you what I like, DR. I like first-time winners in victory lane. And this may sound weird. I don't mind pissed off second place finishers either. Because I think that a pissed off second place finisher means we probably had a good race and maybe something happened to him. And I don't feel good about something happening to him. I like good racing. And so, but first-time winners in victory lane are usually really, really good. That's usually a special moment. And the first one, the best one that I have was Michael McDowell last year, the Daytona 500. That was a neat thing. That's something I'll cherish forever. But I do sprint car interviews. I do kids interviews at Millbridge. You know, whenever I do pay-per-view, there's late model interviews. I mean, I like them all. That's the thing. One of the things, DR, I really do is I have so much respect for all racers. And whether it's a guy making millions of dollars on Sunday afternoon or a guy spending thousands of dollars on Saturday night. And so I love talking to racers. And so, you know, I know that probably didn't answer your question, but that's just kind of that is the answer to it. I like them all. I get along with all of them. So, yeah. So, but I appreciate it. Dr. DR. Caught myself on that one. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone tuning in on TikTok. This is a little new to us here, and we've got a separate screen right down below here. So TikTok, love it. Love it. Let's see. Ray says it's good to see Dennis Erb leading the World of Outlaw points. Yeah. I haven't been paying attention. The late model world is very fragmented. Like with the sprint car world, it's like you have the World of Outlaws and the All-Stars. Then you have Knoxville, Central Pennsylvania. The late model world is the wild, wild west. There's a guy leading the World of Outlaw points one week and seemingly not running with the World of Outlaw the next. So I enjoy it. I went down and saw World of Outlaws twice this year at the place your mama warned you about, Gaffney, South Carolina, and loved it. I don't know that I've got, like I said, this is an XR series race. We've got some other late model races coming up, but I enjoy it all. I really do. Here's where the late model thing is with me. Okay. I work in NASCAR. I work in sprint cars. I work in late model stocks to some degree. I work in Legends cars. I work in micro cars. I am a race fan for dirt late models. So I enjoy them very much. I have never, to my knowledge, announced, since being in North Carolina, we had dirt late models up north, but never probably did at the dirt track now that I think about it when I was the announcer out there. But I haven't done a lot. I did one last year. I see that. I'm already correcting myself. But with the late models, I really fall more into fanboy category, and I like it. Like I would rather like there's some races later this year down at Cherokee, and I'm going to take my grill and take a cooler full of frosty cold ones and take a lawn chair and just sit in there and have fun. So it's good. It's good. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel wants to know, you guys going to do any driver autograph sessions during the 600 weekend? I don't think so. I don't know that we have any plans. Stay tuned, I guess. Here's the way things go around here. Okay, what is today? The 10th of May. As of today, no. As of 9 a.m. tomorrow, there might be 16 drivers coming in at 2 o'clock on Friday of Coke 600 weekend. So we are way too early. Way, way, way too. I know you got to make your plans. I get it. I respect it. Stay tuned. We're not sure what we're going to do as far as that goes. Jeff wants to know your take on Logano buying restart and ending. The have at it. The have at it mentality. You know, I have the next time I drive a race car will be the first time. So I don't put myself in drivers' spots. Okay. And Joey Logano said that he was offended and pissed off by the way William Byron ran him up the racetrack on that restart. Okay? I've been on the highway when someone comes up into my lane and I'm flipping birds and everything else. Okay? So Joey's pissed off. Here's where I'm at with that, Jeff. Okay? If you or William or Jeff Gordon standing down on the pit box or Steve Post or anybody else thought that Joey Logano wasn't going to, if he felt he needed to, rough up William Byron to win that race, you're not paying attention. Joey Logano, tall, big smile, goofy, laughing, cutting up, is not afraid to move people to win races. He has done it in the past. So when I'm watching that race unfold, Jeff, with 10 to go, it's like, okay, this is Byron's. All of a sudden you're looking in the margin, you're like, oh boy. And when we got to 5 to go and Joey was 3 car lengths behind him, I said, Byron will be lucky if he finishes this race. Okay, and it turns out to be, because Joey, if William went the last 2 laps of that race thinking that Joey wouldn't rough him up to get the win, and shame on him. He hasn't been paying attention, and I'm assuming William did. And I get that William's pissed off. I'm fine with that. I'm fine that Byron fans are not happy. Did I mention that I like interviewing pissed off second place finishers? That's with pissed off 13th place finisher. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I just think that I think it's 2022. I think that it's I think the rarity is what we saw at Bristol with Tyler Reddick. That's the rarity, where Chase Briscoe spun and Tyler wasn't pissed off about it. I just think that that's where we're at now. I like it, don't like, I don't know. It makes for entertaining racing. It gives us a lot to talk about all week long. But I try not to, Jeff, I try to live my life not saying I would ... especially a guy that's never in my life, other than one street stock media race, raced a race car. And that night at that street stock race, I was ready to kill everybody. I mean, I was ready to wreck everybody, and I was ready to fight everybody. So I may not be a good person to drive these race cars. There you go. Has pissed off second place driver ever started an issue in Victory Lane during interview? Not that I'm aware of, but we've had a bunch of them on pit road. My favorite one was one of the Dillon boys and Regan Smith up at Watkins Glen, because I saw it coming. And my producer's in the ear saying, Regan's coming, and so you kind of hang on to it. I was not on the air at the time, but there was a pretty good, Sam Mayer, Ty Gibbs scuffle up at Richmond a few weeks ago. I've been in the middle of scrums. Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano at Martinsville, when Denny gave us the short track racing thing, remember that? I was on the air. Either, if you know where you're looking when you watch the video, you can see me talking to him play-by-play. See, I used to announce, Jonathan, I used to announce at a place in Scranton, outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania, Lakeville, Pennsylvania, called Makatech Speedway. Okay. When you were the track announcer at Makatech, you were a two-sport announcer because you called the races, and then when people wanted to fight in the stands, you called the fights. So been there, done that, seen bigger fights than what we've seen in NASCAR at Makatech. We had a flagger, passed away not too long ago, Ed Zigga. Ziggy was his name. And Ziggy would throw the caution when a fight would happen in the stands so he could stand on the flag stand and watch the fight. If he knew one of the parties and liked that person, he would at times leave the flag stand to come down and participate in said fight. So, Jonathan, I don't think I've had that in Victory Lane, but I have had it on pit road. I don't recall having that in Victory Lane. Maybe I did, but I don't. Okay. Wilson, do you think Denny Hamlin or Michael Jordan would start a truck or Xfinity team? The screen just jumped. I lost it here. A truck or Xfinity team to get in the sport like Gasly. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know, because right now development programs, when you look at Toyota's development program, you've got Joe Gibbs Racing does the Xfinity Series cars, and Kyle Busch does the trucks, and they actually have Sammy Smith in an ARCA car. So do they want to jump in it? Is there budget to do it? I don't know. I don't sense that's in the game plan. Could be wrong. I don't sense that is in the game plan. I don't know. But I just don't see it's there. There's so many good, the Toyota pipeline is so plugged up with people. The problem in the Toyota camp is cup rides. You know, when you look at, Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim and John Hunter Nemechek and people like that, the challenge right now is we need more cup teams. So I don't know that they're going to look at doing that. Could be wrong, but I don't know. So Matthew wants to know, are you coming to Wisconsin next weekend on the 20th, the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds? No, I'm not. Where are we at? Next weekend I'm in Texas. I'll be down there for the All-Star race. So I'd love to get up there. I love the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds, the Plymouth Dirt Track. May get there. They race Thursday night of Road America. I don't think I fly in until Friday. So we'll see. Get up there and get some bratwurst. You kidding me? Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see where we're at. No, I think everyone's kind of, Jay Stifler says, Joey did what he had to do, 0 issues with it. Byron checked up a lot. I do go back to what Tyler Reddick said at Bristol. If I wouldn't have slowed down so much, he wouldn't have had a shot at me. And Byron's car went away. And, you give the guy a crack at you. Again, you give Joey Logano a crack at you, and guess what's going to happen? He's going to take a crack at you. It's just, if you don't believe that, you haven't been paying attention. Good. Well, good deal. So we're headed off. Looks like we've kind of squeezed all of the, someone asked about way up there about the throwback cars. I saw that. Larry said, think about the throwback schemes. Larry, I'm going to get on a soapbox here. Okay, I saw some people saying, has Throwback Weekend ran its course? Larry, and I've launched something, it's a website called Postman 68. You can check it out. My very first blog on there is about that topic, Larry. Okay, throwback paint schemes. Has it ran its course? Hell no. Here's the way I look at this thing, and I'll get to your question about specific cars. There's generally going to be a Black 3. There's going to be a Wrangler car or two. There's been a lot of Valvoline cars over the course of time. There's been some Exide battery cars and everything. I love when we get into Mark Martin's 02 car that Brett Moffitt raced. I love that Corey LaJoie did the 777, the Marty Robbins car. But here's why I love this weekend, and this will get to my favorite cars, okay? I love it because now that we've gotten into this thing for a few years, teams are having to dig a little deeper. And I love that they're having to dig a little deeper, because when they're digging deeper, they're getting to some rich stories. Y'all know me. If you don't know me, you know I love sprint cars. Dean Thompson in that Truck Series race on Friday night had a throwback to another guy by the name of Dean Thompson. No relation. In fact, the Truck Series racer Dean Thompson was born in 2001. The sprint car racer Dean Thompson died in 2003. Dean, the Truck Series racer, said, I'm always asked about Dean Thompson, the sprint car racer. They're both from California. So he did a throwback to Dean Thompson and allowed me, and I think Dylan Welch covered this one, to talk about Dean Thompson, the sprint car racer, 3-time CRA champion in sprint car racing, 111 feature wins out in California. See, this is where it gets good. This is where I put my hands together like this and say, now we're talking throwback weekend, okay? Second one that I like that involves sprint cars is Eric Almirola. His grandfather is a great sprint car racer by the name of Sam Rodriguez. Sam is a 3-time Tampa Bay auto racing champion down in the state of Florida. Sam, between, I think it was 85 and 95, won 90 races during that time period. Eric fell in love with racing because of his grandpa racing that sprint car. And Eric got to throw back in his final year to his grandpa. I mentioned this is where I love these stories. Love these stories. Patrick Emmerling in that number, I forget his number in the Xfinity series. But he had an orange car with BR DeWitt on the side of it. You show me an orange car with a BR DeWitt on the side of it, and I'm talking Richie Evans all day long. Love it. Love the Richie Evans paint scheme. You get where I'm going here with it? As we dig deeper into this, I like the stories more so than the Wrangler car, the Goodwrench car, all of those. And I respect all of those, but I love the details. I love all of the details about this, okay? So now to my favorite car, okay? This goes back to Friday night in the Truck Series, okay? Stuart Friesen. I think I mentioned this last week on the show. Stuart Friesen did a throwback to a racer from Schenectady, New York named Jumpin' Jack Johnson. And I, as a kid, watched Jumpin' Jack race. As the story goes, my home track was 5 Mile Point Speedway in Binghamton, New York. Jack's home track was Fonda Speedway up in New York. Jack was an 11-time, I think, Fonda champion. I think he had 149 wins there. Great there. But what would happen is when we heard there was rain at Fonda, you'd look over at the pit gate and in would roll that orange number 12A. Woo, man, we were in high cotton when that car rolled in. Jack had, I think, 8 wins at 5 Mile Point, 3 big year-end races. So that means 5 on those rain-off one-offs. And then we would travel around upstate New York and go watch all of them race, including Jack, and he would win his share of races. See, so I loved Stuart Friesen's car. That was my favorite car. But it's because now we're at the stage where we're getting deep into these stories and we get to tell some stories about guys that don't normally get stories told about. And that's what I love. That's what I really like. So that's what it is. And Larry, I like it. Stuart was my favorite too. Yeah. I'm a Jumpin' Jack Johnson fan. We lost Jack a year ago. I think it was Lou Gehrig's disease in April of 2021. I just think that Stuart Friesen, of course, he's a modified racer as well, did a wonderful job with that. So I love it. I really do. Jay Skiffler says, endless amounts of badass throwbacks out there. LaJoy hits it out of the park every year. Corey LaJoy is really, really good. Corey LaJoy does a really good job. Clifford wants to know, what do you think about tires this year? Have we talked about tires much this year? I'm not being a wise ass here, Clifford. Oh, we talked about short track tires. Yeah, short track tires. Short track tires are a mess. Oh my God, short track tires. But Goodyear tires, I don't know that we've talked about them other than the normal. They wear out at Darlington. They wear out at Richmond. When we've talked about the tires falling off the race car. So if you're talking about tires falling off the race cars, then we're deep in the weeds there. If we're talking about the performance of the tires, it's been normal. And I think when you look at it with what Goodyear has done, having to redesign the whole tire, I think that's probably good. I know Christopher Bell and Eric Almirola and somebody else, they're testing today at Pocono, as a matter of fact, doing a tire test. So I think the tires have been all right. I think when they come off from the race cars, that's caused some problems. I think that's rather obvious. But Tire wear at Darlington was normal. Tire wear at Richmond was normal. Dover, some of these tracks, we'll see. Stay tuned. I could. They do burnouts on it. The blowing them out. Oh, okay. The design of the car, yeah, the design of the car is a problem. It has nothing to do with the tires. I mean, it does, because when the tires go flat, I see what you're saying, Clifford. Yeah, and that's been something we've talked about. I don't know that we've talked about here, but the sport has talked about. Here's what they did with Joey Logano. About caught me off guard. Okay, he's out there, and I know he's burned the tires right off that car, so he's like dry docked that car out on the front stretch. Okay, here's what NASCAR did to get him to, and TV does the front stretch, radio does victory lane. I'm in victory lane, and I know that they've tore the tires right off that car to put us in that spot that you talked about. And they blow the tires out, and the car's sitting there on the frame. I think the design of the car, I don't know how they fix it, but I think the design of the car is a challenge with those tires, okay? So I decide William Byron is not stopped up at the other end. He stopped somewhere in the middle. I decide that I'm going to go up and see if I can get William Byron while we are doing the 20-minute process of getting Joey Logano's car to victory lane. The process that we did with Ross Chastain at Talladega, the process we did with Austin Cindric at Daytona, the process we've done every other time. Mind my own business, wandering up pit road, bebopping along. All of a sudden, Joey fires that car up and is headed back down. I'm like, what in the wide world of sports is going on? Boogity, boogity, boogity. I ran the length of pit, not the length of pit road, I ran from the start-finish line to victory lane and got there just as Joey was getting there. So I beat him into victory lane. I'm glad I'm doing some running and fitness things, because I was a little out of breath, but I wouldn't have been able to do it. What they did about that, and Clifford, I'm getting to your thing. What they did is they actually had a support truck, NASCAR did, with tires on it, so that they changed the tires right on the front stretch, put 2 new tires on, and he was able to drive to victory lane. Okay. Now, when it comes to during the race, we've had some guys, Kevin Harvick blew a tire and in practice, pulled the car down, then drove around the racetrack and destroyed the diffuser. Somebody came down pit road. I had their pit stop. Somebody came down pit road with all 4 flapping, and that car was still going. So I think there's some work to do on the design of the car because of the small sidewalls of the tires. I think the car sits pretty close to the ground. So Clifford, I think that's something we're working on. I don't know. I think tires falling off the cars are the biggest problems during pit stops. I think that might be the secondary problem as far as the blown out tires and victory lane and cars stopping on the racetrack. I think I've seen some cars drive around that damaged the underside of the race car, but tire wear and everything like that's been good. So there you go. Yeah, the Reggie Ruggiero throwback was really good as well. Yes, it was. It was great. Really, truly was. So that's good. Jimmy, you're going to have to go back and listen to this. I've already gone over this. Sorry. Just go back. You can hear it again. I've already covered that. So there. I got to get out of here. Okay. As I told you at the top, I can't even imagine. I just saw twice Jonathan walking up and down the hallway with carts full of cars. I think at about 3 o'clock he's going to come in here, and he's going to be wheeling and dealing. Like I said, the last time he sold all those freaking junior cars, and I couldn't even get my credit card out because they're just, So always got Jeff Gordon a poster, Sam Bass artwork. Got Sam Bass autographed by Jeff Gordon himself. We've got Sam Bass artwork coming up at the top of the hour. So I got to get out of here so he can get in here. And what happens, here's how this goes. I'm just going to tell you a little behind the scene. I'm not bitter about this at all. I told you about the shelf over here, okay, and that sort of thing. I roll out of here. The kitchen staff comes in. The catering comes in. They set up a buffet over here for Jonathan, and he's eating caviar and dealing in die-casts. While Postman's headed down the QT to grab a hot dog. So, no, I'm busting on that. I'm not busting on the shelf. We got the shelf over here. No, you do need to stick around. And again, what you do on this is, like on Facebook or TikTok or whatever channel you're watching on, set your notifications. I'm telling you, when you see Jonathan's coming on, Get that credit card out. Don't be fiddle farting around like I did and lost my chance to win a junior diecast door number 1 because I'm a knucklehead. So he'll be in here at the top of the hour with some Sam Bass artwork and Lord knows what else. You're going to want to get it. You're going to want to do it. He's wheeling and dealing, and he does it throughout the course of the week. You're going to want to do it. And what we do is we sit here Tuesday at 2, and we talk a little NASCAR racing, and it has been a ball. Have enjoyed it very, very much. A lot of the Darlington throwback schemes, including Joey Logano's race winner, are available at www.circlebdiecast.com. I think I saw where the Xfinity diecast, the Justin Allgaier race winner, is available as well. So just go on and type in throwback. You'll find all kinds of good stuff there. So yes, great stuff. So always fun to hang out and talk some NASCAR racing. But remember, Circle B Diecast for all your diecast needs. I'm the Postman from Motor Racing Network. Thanks for joining us this week here on our Tuesday at 2 visit.